What's up, everyone? This is the second video that I'm making on shoulder health. My coach Andrea Chang had me start doing these with the standing T drill that I made a video of. This is probably my newest. I hate this drill and I love it. I hate it because it really sucks. I love it because it works. I wish it didn't, but the damn drill works really well. So I'm going to run clip. We'll kind of break it down. This one, there's a lot of fine tuning on this one, so we'll try to take it slow and steady. I'll show you this from the side as well so you get a better drill. I'm using a really light band. If that's too much tension, you can actually daisy chain two of those together. So you want something that you can at least hold. So you want to get a foam roller, a 3-foot foam roller. Make sure that you can get your hands all the way to the outsides. The band is right where the band is going to be positioned on my wrist where a watch band would go. And this is really important. I'm going to be sitting back on my heels as far as I can. The main focus of this drill is going to be that internal rotation. You can see how I'm twisting my elbows in. So really the rule for you to remember is if I draw, like, let's say kind of two lines where my elbows are, I want my elbows inside of my wrists at all times. There you go. It's kind of an elbow, kind of a wrist. So if your elbows start to flare outside, just remember, okay, I've gone too far. So from here, I'm going to squeeze in. I'm going to hold that position, and then I'm going to smoothly press outward. I'm going to only go as far as I can. So I've been doing this drill for a while, and I can actually get my arms straight. When I started doing this drill, I could literally go maybe 1 inch, 2 inches at a time before my elbows would kind of wing out, and that's okay. Only go as far as you can. So again, I'll show you a correct rep from the front one more time. So I position in, my elbows are squeezing in, and they're not going to stay there. I'm actively squeezing them there, and I'm going to slowly roll outward. I'm pressing outward, and I'm still actively just wrapping my elbows in towards each other, and I press as far as I can go. Again, I'm not moving my hips. My hips stay back on my heels. Once I've gone as far as I can, I'm going to keep my elbows twisted in, and I'm going to pull backward again. They are going to want to wing out as hard as they can. You have to really fight to squeeze them to the inside. So let's continue on. So quick breakdown. The trap, the main area, well, there's a few main areas that we're hitting here. I would say that we're hitting the traps, but the traps are sort of, they have different functions. It's kind of one muscle, but not really. Your upper traps are going to make you shrug. Those are what we don't want to use. Those are sort of the overactive, I call it the couples massage muscle. Anytime your significant other says, I want a neck rub, usually it's the traps, just tight neck. A lot of other things going on, but usually that. You got your kind of, we'll just say mid traps. They're going to be more responsible for squeezing your shoulder blades into the middle. And then your lower traps. This is really the main thing that we're trying to hit down here. You can actually see all the different fibers that are, we zoom in, you can actually see the fibers that are going in this direction. We're really trying to target these suckers here. So that's generally where I try to feel it the most, is somewhere here, but you'll feel a ton in the shoulders as well. Also, if we want to, you can see here I kind of stripped the traps away. There's a lot of muscles that deal with internal rotation. So you got your infraspinatus, your teres minor. If you don't know what those are, don't worry about it. Those are rotator cuff muscles. Those are going to be doing a lot of work. I've never once been like, oh, I can totally feel my teres minor activating. Generally, you're going to feel more of a region activating. When you start fine-tuning it, you'll be able to kind of know when you're doing it right and wrong. But don't worry too much about the actual muscles. But those are the areas that we're really going to be targeting. So here's what happens if I don't corkscrew. So I corkscrew in, and as I push immediately, boom, you can see that I get that nice roll out. Whoop. The second you get there, okay, you've gone too far. That's why I said it doesn't matter how far you go forward and backward. What matters is that you go only as far forward as you can before you get that elbows winging out to the sides. And I'll show you what it looks like from the side, but when I do this, basically my shoulders are starting to come up towards my ears. I'm just breaking position here, so really look to avoid that, because at that point, we're really missing the point of the drill. Again, elbows need to be inside the wrists. So let's take a look at this from the side. Okay, so from the side, first off, the band is going to be right on your wrist, where if you had a watch on, just put it where your watch band would be. That's the first thing. As I start to move down, oh, there we go. The second thing is I want to, get out of here. I'm ruining this. There we go. I want to get my elbows down low enough so that my forearms are parallel to the ground. They really got to be that low. Don't start any higher than that. Once I get to this position here, let's look at this if I just do a few little mini reps. If I just do a nice little glide forward and a glide backward, that's how I started this drill. Literally just glide forward, glide backward. Nice, smooth, slow reps. As I got better at these things, I was able to go a little bit farther, but this is how I started off for the first few weeks. It took me about a month to be able to get my arms to even straighten out. So, this is pretty obvious. We talked about keeping your shoulders down, kind of anti-shrug away from the ears. The most obvious thing is watch out for that. You can't really see it, but as I do this, my elbows are winging outward. So if you look at it from the side, that's what my shoulders are doing. My shoulders kind of get hunchy and move forward. So we really want to make sure that we're avoiding that position. So make sure you are squeezing, you are set. And you'll see I reset my hands a lot because they will try to scoot in on you. But I'm going to slowly reach just as far as I can go. And then, again, let's look at a few bad ones. If I go too far, you'll know it because all of a sudden you'll start to feel that shoulder blades moving. And you can, from this angle, you can actually see if I let my muscles, the right ones, disengage, my shoulder wings up, my elbow scoots out, and you'll feel it. So the main thing is, this is not one to be overzealous on. This is not one to say, I want to go for 30 of these, or I want to go for 10. Don't even give yourself a number. I usually just set a timer for 5 minutes. I'm just going to work on this motion, and I'm just going to do the best that I can and get what I can for 5 minutes. Last thing, just to make sure I point out, I mentioned this before, but you can see it from this angle. I'm trying to sit down. I'm trying to sit down on my heels. So butt to heels, if you want a knee mat or if you want to put something underneath your, between your calf and your hamstring, like a little cushion right there or something, that's fine. But the main thing is, as I set and I begin my push forward, my arms are going to be pushing forward, but I'm not letting my hips move forward. I'm not rocking my whole body forward. This is just a push forward, a reach, and as I do this, you can see my shoulder is staying packed and down, and then if I disengage, you can just see my entire shoulder girdle rolls forward. Okay, these are called, I call these flying V's. We kind of jokingly call them the heinous number one because there's more than one heinous drill, but this will become your most hated / most loved drill. This is really, really a good drill to do on shoulder press days, on any kind of overhead day. You can test it out. Do 3 shoulder presses with a really light weight. Do this for 5 minutes, then go back and do the same shoulder presses, 3 times per side, and just see if you feel a difference. It really makes a difference. Okay, this is the Flying V, aka the heinous number one. Give it a try.